And I am here today for a live video with all of you. I just love to be here live with all of you guys on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon. And today we're going to have a different format for a live video, but I want to have it as a more interactive format. And I want to ask all of you guys some questions about quilting and get some ideas and brainstorm with you guys for some different quilting things. So for those of you guys that have joined on, please be brave and say hi to me because I love to sit and chat with you guys. So what we are going to talk about today are what are quilting challenges that you find in quilting. I am trying to find all those little quilting challenges and then to try to figure out the pain points of how we can solve some of the quilting challenges out there in the world. So, go ahead. Hi, Liz. How are you? It's so good to see you. How is Canada today? It's a little rainy here. So, which is always nice to get some moisture and things in spring. So I'm just absolutely loving a beautiful, nice rainy day. So Liz, what is a quilting challenge that you find in quilting? Jane, it's so good to see you. Jane is in South Wales. Liz is in Canada. So it's so good to see you guys. I absolutely adore you guys. Now, what are some quilting challenges that you have? So it's cold up there too today. Yes. Yeah. We've definitely, I look out the window over there, there's rain sprinkled all over the window, and we've got some moisture out there. I can see that it is wet. So, which is nice because, you know, we always need moisture, especially in the springtime, and we always need moisture so there maybe aren't fires. So, I have questions. What kind of challenges do you have in quilting? Do you have, because I'm wanting to sit here and brainstorm different live videos that I could be offering you guys, but I really want to offer you guys really good, resourceful live videos. Come prepared to teach different topics. And what topics would you guys like to see in a live video? Hello, Dolores. Dolores is in Mississippi and she is having a beautiful day. It's so good to see you. So let's talk about all the things that are just kind of tricky out there for sewing, for quilting. A pain point for someone might be putting on the binding. A pain point or a challenge in quilting might be actually quilting your quilt. A challenge might be sewing together your quilt blocks or cutting accurately. What are some different pain points that there might be? Oh, Liz, quilt as you go. I think that would be a lot of fun to do. So I agree. The quilt as you go methods are really a lot of fun, and learning and figuring out those methods. So yeah, we could do some videos on quilt as you go. I think that's a great idea. So binding or getting that angled, the diagonal finish as you bind your quilt. Jane says her only challenge right now is to find the time to fit in sewing. And then she said, I would like to know about what needle size to use when quilting the sandwich. That's a great question, Jane. I like that. So I have that answer right here for you. Let me put on my reading glasses. So what I use is a denim needle, and it's a Schmidt's denim needle. But the Schmidt's denim needle is like a 90-14. And that's the size that I usually use when I'm quilting my quilt sandwich. When I am, and I kind of want to, when I am just piecing my quilt blocks, a needle that I use is an 80-12. So typically for quilting, for just piecing and quilting my fabric, I am using an 80-12 needle. That's kind of like a standard, it's not too thin, it's strong enough. It's just a really good needle, and you want to change out your needles from time to time. You want to have a good sharp needle too, but I use a denim needle. What size needles do you guys use for quilting? But the denim needle I use, I usually just get a denim pack of needles, or maybe I could put it over on this camera right here. I use a denim pack of needles, and you can see that they often have a variation of sizes. And I find those sizes work just great. So you can see the different sizes there. Hi, Tina. It's good to see you. It's so good to see you. So Dolores says that she likes doing quilt as you go since her shoulder is messed up and she can't quilt the big quilts anymore on her domestic sewing machine. And Dolores, it's pretty expensive sending them out to long arm quilters for you, isn't it? So yeah, it is nice to be able to quilt our quilts on our domestic sewing machines and not to always have to send them out to long arm quilters, particularly if we've got a time crunch. So I agree with you. Jane, get a denim variety pack, and then you've got this as a multi-use little pack. And I find that this is a slightly stronger needle that can handle the width, the thickness that you're going through, the layers that you're going through, the seam allowances that you're going through from your quilt top. It's just a little bit stronger of a needle. So I think that works really good. So Amanda says she uses 7511. I'll have to try that for piecing. I like that, Amanda. That's a little bit smaller needle than my 8012. So I would love to try out a 7511. So, and then for the quilting, she's using 9014. So yeah, so remember, you might have packs of needles that are laying around, but if you understand what the numbers are on your needles, you can have more confidence actually using those needles. So when, it doesn't have to be a pack of denim needles per se. Does that make sense? You can actually, if you know what the size of those needles are, and maybe we should do a live about the size of needles, and I have a handout for you guys of what all the different sizes of needles are and those types of things for you too, so that you can pull from your pack of needles. And remember, if you have needles that are laying around, you can actually, they are printed actually on the needle itself, and you could put on a really close reading glass or a magnifying glass to read those little numbers and digits. But the other thing is they are color coded based on, the brand of needle that you're purchasing too. So anyways, so those are some really good things. So I have tried on the different Facebook groups. You guys know I manage and created the Everyone Can Quilt Facebook group. And in there, I've been asking questions like, what is a challenge that you find in quilting? What is a pain point that you have in quilting? What is something, because I would like to learn, I really want to address some of these pain points and then offer classes or courses or do a blog post and have a handout for you guys on the various pain points that there are in quilting. I just want to get right down to the nitty gritty and start addressing those things and maybe have more lives that are teaching more of a direct pain point or a direct thing with quilting. So I want you guys to come with ideas for me. Hello, Rhonda from Arizona. It's so good to see you. And what is a struggle that you might have with quilting or with sewing or anything like that? So one of the things could be that you when you go shopping, you don't know how much fabric to buy of a collection that you're just absolutely heart-throbbing for, and you don't know how much fabric to buy of this particular quilt. So let me share with you guys some of the pain points that I've gotten that people have answered in those Everyone Can Quilt group. Oh, yes, Jane has a great idea. She takes a picture of her pin and then enlarges it on her phone so she can read what it says. Jane, that's awesome. See, each one of us, we can help solve our pain points, right? Okay, so let me read off to you guys some of these things that people wrote down as challenges. Time to sew. Okay, Jane kind of mentioned that. Finding time to quilt or sew in a busy life. Does that make sense? Money. Sometimes, quilting can be pretty expensive. Reading a pattern, cutting accurately. If you guys if any of these things resonate with you and you'd like to see a live video from me, would you please comment? Making curves. Would a curves video be kind of fun? And maybe I have a pattern that then plays off of a curved pattern. Join the ends of the binding. So it's at that mitered edge, and you're joining the ends of your binding. Quilting, free motion quilting. Matching fabrics is a big one. Dolores says, she says, I think I missed a color wheel day at school. Sometimes I feel that way too, Dolores. I do. So figuring out the colors to use in your quilts and combining colors. I like that. That's definitely something that you're really right about. Maybe the 1/4-inch seam, squaring up quilt blocks, preparing your backing, how much backing fabric you need, preparing your quilt for quilting, finishing a quilt. Sometimes finishing a quilt can be a pain point, right? Your tension when you're doing free motion quilting, foundation paper piecing, English paper piecing. Hi, Crystal. She says that, yes, she's new and she's trying to make her first quilt for her mother-in-law. I am so proud of you. So what kind of things would you love to learn as a new quilter, Crystal? I think that's awesome. Thank you for participating. Binding, let's see, Y seams. Half square triangles. I think we've covered a lot of those sometimes in our videos. Colors, we talked about that. What to do next, what to do when you lose your sojo and your motivation to keep quilting. And putting together rows or assembling a quilt top when you've got your quilt blocks put together and then putting them together into a quilt top. So what other things are kind of different pain points that are just a struggle for you that you guys would like to see videos on? Because we have finished the Live Well Live Strong quilt top as the basic blocks, and I am going to start moving in and brainstorming what to do next. So we're going to still do our quilting that we're doing of the standard size. And then my next little series is going to be on taking this quilt right here, which we did as foundation paper piecing, and layering this one and getting and doing some hand quilting for a small project. So anyway, so I wanted to do that too. Also, personalizing a quilt with say some embroidery work or things like that, how to actually personalize a quilt would be really kind of fun to do. So our next videos, like, we're going to finish our quilt top of the Live Well Live Strong quilt that's right behind me. And then after that, we're going to work on the foundation paper piecing. But I want you guys to flood me with all the ideas of what we should do for our live videos and what you guys would like to see. And I want to get your feedback and get information on you guys with all the ideas of different things that you see out there, because I'm not really out there that much. And I'd love to get ideas and, you know, of things that people would like to learn, or that you see that things are some things that would be good to learn. So anyways, another thing we could do is taking pictures of your quilts. We could also do like a little series on that. So taking pictures of your actual quilt tops and quilts and sharing those on social media and things like that. So you guys keep flooding me with ideas of things that you have and ideas that you would like to see, because I am here doing these tutorials for you, and I'd like to get things organized and to kind of get a schedule going out of what we are doing. So thank you guys. Let me know if anyone has any other inputs or suggestions. Do you have suggestions about camera reviews? Do you have suggestions about content? Do you have suggestions? Because I have this sweet time with each one of you guys on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Okay, Amanda says she's taking a free online course in May to learn how to determine the quilt pattern to use. Great idea, Amanda. I like that, because sometimes it is hard to figure out your quilt patterns. Dolores says she wants, applique quilting. But okay, so applique, that's a great idea, Dolores. I love applique, and I really enjoy applique an awful lot. Dolores, you've made so many of those Farm Girl vintage quilts. I don't know if most of or the Lori Holt quilts. But maybe what you've made is pieced. I can't remember. Okay, Crystal, binding, a good one. I'm not there yet. I got a 1/4-inch seam foot. Such a time saver. I totally agree that 1/4-inch seam foot is worth the cost in in the price of the cost, because it does save you a lot of mental thinking and energy as you're quilting. She ended up spending $3,000 on a machine, and more with quilting can be inexpensive. Finding time when you have a 1.5-year-old. I agree. I actually sewed a lot when my kids were really little, and now I've got a 2-year-old granddaughter that I have, and yeah, it is tricky finding that space. So I do have her on Thursdays, and it's really, really fun to do. So, but I agree with you, Crystal, and I can give you guys tips for quilting with kids, because that's all I did was tips on quilting when you've got your little ones around. So, because that's definitely something that I did, and I had different activities for them whenever I would quilt, and then I had kind of different rules that I would have. Oh, Dolores says she avoids the Lori Holtz applique patterns. Okay. Okay. Well, then let's think of something simple and not overwhelming that would be an embroidery project that we could use. Yes. Oh my gosh, Amanda, I cannot believe that I did not send your email. Okay. Holy cow. Okay, as soon as I finish this, we are sending an email. Yes, quilting with kids. I've got some really good tips for you. And maybe we should pop a question in over on the Everyone Can Quilt group about quilting with kids. And I think let's brainstorm some different ideas from there, but I've got a whole plethora of quilting with kid ideas and what I did, because I started quilting when my kids were really little and then went all the way up. And my kids were always, I don't know, it was always really, really fun. And I actually set up my quilting space in their playroom is what I did. And then they just always knew to just respect the table and to not be pulling things off the table. And I would just say, no, 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 you know what I mean? And not be really like firm or whatever. And then I would keep like really sharp things just kind of out of reach so that they can't grab it. But they learned to really respect it with time. So a hand quilting series. Okay, we're going to do that, Dolores. You guys, thank you. I really appreciate this. And the other thing that I've been doing is I've been changing my business model. So what I've been doing is I've been decreasing some of the inventory that I have as fabrics in my online store. So now I'm going to pretty much carry fabrics that are really only going to go with kits of quilts that I have patterns for, or things that I just know that are really, really good. But I'm going to put more of my energy into writing patterns, creating videos, creating content for the information that you really, really need. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And then I am also going to be doing some online paid courses for you guys. So I'm getting ready to launch a whole bunch of new things, and I've been taking a ton of classes, but I want to get with you. So Jan says quilt as you go projects. Okay. I totally agree with you. I'm going to write that down because a couple of people have said that. So quilt as you go. And the applique, I wrote down that. Yes, more patterns, Liz. You should see the patterns I have coming. And so I am going to be spending more time instead of shipping fabric to people, more time on writing the patterns. And then I will have, if I have fabric or if I have notions, it will be there to support the patterns that are getting released. And Dolores, I will have a sale because I've got some fat quarter bundles and some other things in the store that I'd like to see kind of move along. So yes, I will send out an email for a sale, and you can go to stitchesquilting.com. And I'm not getting rid of everything, okay? Because there's a lot of things that I have ideas of what I want for some quilt things. So, don't think I'm getting rid of everything, because I'm not. But I am going to have less inventory, and the inventory that I do have will be there to support the patterns and to support other things with you guys. I don't want to distract from selling fabric, so I can give more of my time and space for you guys. So either creating video content that's just really valuable, or creating short form videos that you guys can watch, like real snappy, and get the concept and the tip and the technique that you need. Does that make sense? Jane, you are so sweet. I do, but sometimes you sit there and you don't realize the thing. See, I've been taking notes as you guys have been talking. Sometimes you don't realize all the things that you know, and things that are easy for you, you don't realize that it is actually a pain point. So I'd rather solve people's pain points first, and create patterns that might solve people's pain points and then take you through tutorials and through things like that. But we are going to be doing some online courses, we're going to be doing some online workshops, and we're going to be doing some really, really great stuff. And I am kind of busy right now. I've paid to take some courses to just really nail down some and build additional skill sets of mine so I can deliver that content to you guys that's really consumable. Does that make sense? I want to make things consumable and ready. And I know those of you guys that are live with me, okay? You guys know my style, you know everything. So I would appreciate it if you call me. I will answer the phone. I want to brainstorm with you guys as to what you think would be a great idea of something I can teach and do, okay, as we're kind of pivoting and changing what we're doing. So I want you guys to call me. You guys can text message me. Please text message me or email me. Those are the best ways to get a hold of me, is to call me, to text message me, or email me. And my information is out there. None of those numbers are secret, or my email is not secret either. So please do that, and please contact me, because I think you guys are kind of my best buddies, my best quilting buddies, and I would love your insight, and I would love to get some things on that. So, okay. So I just wanted to go over what challenges that we can find in quilting. Let you guys know I've got a bunch of patterns that I have got some of them written, and some of them they have to be polished, and maybe some of them I'll send you guys to be pattern testers for them, because I always appreciate your input. And then I want to kind of solve pain points and solve problems. I want to create some more short form videos, some more live videos, and then do workshops, and then do some online classes. So I think that those will be great ways that I can grow and scale bigger and better and really deliver for all of you guys, instead of just cutting fabric all the time and getting orders out. So I'm trying to do a little pivot of my business model. I'll still cut fabric and do those kind of things. Dolores, thank you. She says she will test patterns for me. I love your feedback. I love all of you guys' feedback, but I do want my patterns to be accurate and right. So if you want to be a pattern tester or give me feedback, I really love it. And you guys have grown with me through the years. So I did want to be able to share this type of video with you, and get kind of the feedback and stuff. So anyways, so I really, really appreciate you guys. Let's go ahead. Kathy says, she says she's so excited that she has found my videos. She cleaned out her garage, and so that she can start basting with plywood out there. I love that. Kathy, that's such a great idea to do that in your garage, because it's covered and it's clean and you don't have weather that's interfering with you. That's a fantastic idea. And remember, you could put that piece of plywood on, say, a sawhorse or big, huge boxes out there that you would like to have. Does that make sense? And then you can pick up your thing and move it any other place, if you feel like you can't have the garage, and move it inside for a little bit and then set it back up. So anyways, okay, let me go ahead. Let's see here. Catherine says she'd love to be a pattern tester. Liz says she'd love to be a pattern tester. Okay, good. You guys, this is awesome, because I'm going to take notes from this video. Let's see here. Crystal says she's learning a lot from me, and even her with her mess ups. I agree. I learn the most when I mess up. And my son, that was a first in state wrestler, which many of you guys know, that he said the times that he learned his wrestling was when he lost. And then he would learn things. When he won, he didn't always lose. So we really do learn a lot as we make mistakes. Crystal says, I can't wait to teach my daughter. Hopefully she'll be a pro by then. And you know what? You will be teaching your daughter, Crystal. It is, it's just the best feeling ever, to be able to share your hobby and your loves with your children or grandchildren or your nieces and nephews. I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed that, and making them feel good about themselves as I tell them what a great job they did. It is so fun to be there. So Amanda, you would be just fine testing. You would be just fine testing. Organization is a big thing, and Dolores has really organized her scraps. Dolores and I, sometimes we call, and I want you guys to know, I do talk to you guys. If you call me So if you can FaceTime me, I will FaceTime you. And Dolores has shown me her whole sewing space. I love it. It is really fun, but she's been working on organizing all of her scraps and her sewing room so that she has. It's beautiful. Kathy says she'll test. Liz says, you learn through your mistakes. That's right. With all your tips and tricks, my points are looking great on her Live Well, Live Strong blocks. Oh, and guess what, you guys? We are going to have a quilt collection of patterns that are all going to be a Live Well, Live Strong collective. So we're going to have like a quilt that is just the hope and the heel blocks, but they're big sized, and then you put, say, 12 of them on one quilt top. Okay, so, and I've really got some great ideas, but I would love to brainstorm some of these ideas with you guys. So if any of you guys have time, please contact me and let me know, so that I can, you know, go ahead. Crystal says sometimes she has to stop when she's working and just wait until the next day. And I agree with you. Sometimes if I'm working on a new technique and things get a little tricky, I just say, okay, I'm going to just let that sit for a minute, and then I'll think about that when I'm laying in bed tonight, you know, and then come back at it with a fresh spirit the next morning. So anyways, okay. Yes, don't you worry. Okay, you guys, it is so fun to see you. Let's see here. Another idea is cleaning your sewing machine. Liz, what a great idea. Cleaning your sewing machine. I like that. I like that idea. Yeah, or taking care of your sewing machine, right? Those types of things. I like that. That's a great idea. Okay, I just wrote those down. And you guys, please keep commenting. Even though I might not be on live, I will come back and I will look at all of these comments and respond to them. Hi, Victor. How are you? You could be giving me some hand quilting tips for our next little series that we're going to be having with the hand quilting of the 20 by 20 inch that we're doing. So Amanda, she says, I found some blocks that are really fun to make. Okay, I know. So I would love your feedback, Amanda, of which blocks you really love, because it's fun to do them a little bit larger scale and then see that repeated out. And it's amazing the secondary patterns you can have with, say, the Hope quilt block and the heel quilt block. Hope and heel is over here. So one of our very first patterns that I have that's almost ready to be published and stuff like that is the Hope and the heel. I don't know. It's hard to see on the thing. Hope and heel. Anyways, it's right here, these two. But when you have that and you do a secondary pattern with the fabrics, oh, it is so fun. You know, and it's a big quilt, large scale, but it's a fast sew. It's just a really, really fast sew that you can do. And so that's really a lot of fun too. Okay, you guys. So please let me know what I can do. Our next little bit of series is going to be finishing up the quilting on the Live Well, Live Strong quilt on the 60 by 60 inch where we did the free motion quilting. We're going to then talk about binding that quilt, getting the binding ready. We're going to be, Delinda says tension on sewing, stitch length for quilting, stitch length for paper piecing. I like that. Okay, I got to write that down. Okay, I might need to write that down afterwards because it's nice and long. So we're going to be doing prepping your binding, squaring up your quilt after you've quilted the quilt, applying your binding, getting your pointy points on the binding are some of our future live videos, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon. And then the other thing we're going to do is then joining your end pieces at that diagonal part right there, okay? And then we are also going to you know what? We are going to do so many different things. Then we're going to move over to the hand quilting, taking out the papers on this and hand quilting this one right here. So you guys, I cannot wait to come back and come with you guys. Please let me know what other things. Catherine says she's got carpal tunnel in her right wrist, so sometimes she has to stop sewing and quilting for a week or more. And you know what? I had some problems with my wrists. And I almost couldn't write. I was really in a lot of pain. I almost couldn't cut. I was really having a lot of pain. And you know what ended up happening is I had my A1C check and my blood sugar was a little out of whack. So I took like a metformin for like pre-diabetes, and it took that inflammation and that irritation away. I know that's weird, but that worked for me. And so I had my doctor check my A1C, which is your sugars. You know what I mean? So I thought that was interesting. So because I did suffer with that for quite some time, and it was really difficult. It was hard to even just write. Corey bought me special pens for writing. I had that for about 1 or 2 years. So, okay, you guys, I'm going to pop off so that this isn't a long video, but come back, write me, email me, send me your information, and I would send me your brainstorming of things, because now that I don't have to take care of so many people, I am ready to grow wider, and I'm also ready to grow deeper. And that's what I am working on getting done. And I would love to know all of your ideas and what you would like to see. So love you guys. We will see you a little bit later. And I wish you guys all the best. And we are going to have a fantastic week. So I'm going to be back on Wednesday at noon. I love you guys so much. And have a great one. And I can't wait. I'm going to go back and respond to everybody's comments. Love you. Okay, let me know all of your ideas too. Talk to you